meeting. Today is December 2nd at approximately 8:47 in the morning. And we begin with doing our Pledge of Allegiance, if everyone can stand. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
And now we will have a moment of silence. Okay, then we will continue our meeting and we will begin with roll call. Raymond Camina, Gabriel Castillo, Elizabeth Flores, Maribel Garcia,
Here.
Judith Gutierrez,
Present.
Omar Minjas, Salo Otero,
Here.
Marisa Ramirez, present. Magali Rodriguez. Present. We do have several of our members, 3 members that are asking for an excused absence. We have Elizabeth Flores, who has a doctor's appointment, Mr. Gabriel Castillo, who has work commitments, and Mr. Omar Minjas is not feeling well today.
Well, Madam Chair, I would move that we excuse those members that has to be excused.
I second. Motion carries. Thank you all. Do we have any public or citizen comments to bring to our meeting today?
Not today, Madam Chair.
Today, okay, very good. If we can go to page 2, which is the approval of our minutes for the November 4th, 2021 meeting that we had.
Madam Chair, if there are no deletions, additions, or corrections, I would like to move that we approve the minutes as submitted.
I second. Motion carries. Thank you so much. We are bringing up for discussion with a possible action on canceling our January 2022 meeting. Do we have a motion to move forward with moving our meeting from January to,
Would
I
there
guess,
be a
February?
reason why?
Usually because it's so close to coming back from the holidays.
From New Year's, that's correct. I move that we move the meeting, postpone the January meeting to February.
To February the 3rd.
We have February the 3rd. Is that okay with everybody?
So on January 6th, we couldn't find 3 wise men.
You promise we'll say that.
Not even right, anyway.
No wise men,
No wise men.
just wise women.
Wow, W-O-W, right? Wise old women.
Do we have a motion for the February 3rd, 2022 meeting?
Yes, I move to that.
I say. Motion carries for having our next meeting on February the 3rd, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning.
There's no WBCA, what's up there on February the 3rd?
No.
And it is
No, it's not at
The
8:45.
bridges will be packed. It's a free bridge. Oh, that was 30 years ago, right?
That's from the past, sure, for sure.
Moving on to reviewing of the year-to-date financial statements, which is on page 5. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Eileen or the staff?
I would just like to see if you could highlight which line items are on target and which ones are not. I mean, because that would move the agenda a little bit further, and especially.
We can certainly add for next meeting. We can add some visuals that make it easier because with the report that finance gives us is
It's also a night test, right?
yeah. So we would be happy to add a report where it's a little bit more visual on how
How are we doing?
and right now we're doing good. We're just at the beginning of the fiscal year. We're about to go to council on Monday to approve our media buys for January through December. So right now we're doing good. Sometimes what we do is if we see one line, there's a project that we're not gonna, it doesn't make sense anymore from when we planned it, because we planned our budget the previous year, so we planned it in March of the previous year. So if we see that there's something that doesn't make sense anymore, but there's another line where it does make sense, we might transfer money from one line to the other.
It
But
makes sense, I mean, that's the
But
way it
it's only
usually
from
goes.
that budget period, and you can only make changes to the following budget period, or you
It's
can
within
the
that
budget.
It's gotta be within that.
Within that budget.
So, within the budget from October to September.
Calendar year.
Yeah, well,
Or
fiscal year.
Fiscal year.
Yeah, but we can show you, and we can highlight like the most important accounts.
Yes, and you know, how they're doing as we move through the year, and it would be important to just.
Yeah.
So
Make it
we're
a
able
little
to
bit more
focus
visual.
more
Yeah,
on what
no, sure.
needs to happen. Okay, great. If we have no other comments with the financials, moving on
I would
to.
just like to ask, how we're doing with the hotel motel occupancy.
We're on target, we haven't, based on our projections, we are right now on target. We have seen, we're waiting to see how the government contracts are gonna affect us in terms of, collections.
No tax.
That's gonna be something that we're a little
Well, they
bit
don't pay
concerned.
taxes.
No.
They're exempt.
No. Anybody that stays over 30 days, is exempt from taxes. And so,
Federal doesn't matter if it's less than.
Less, yeah, they don't pay.
so that's a big concern for us, that we have high occupancy, but
No,
we don't have those, we're gonna miss those taxes.
whereas somebody else could be taking that room that does pay for them.
Yeah. So now that we have, we expect, Paisano season to be full on. We actually have already confirmation of a caravan coming the 7th and the 8th, well, the overnight on the 7th. And then another caravan coming the 17th, and our regular Paisano traffic, that week from the 17th and on.
Caravan going that way, not this
Mexico,
way.
yeah.
No, caravan going into
Because they
Mexico.
talk about
But
caravan,
a
and
lot
it's
of
good
like,
caravan.
them, a lot of them they spend the night here,
Yeah.
like this is their last stop, and they rest here and then cross.
they,
Yeah.
So that.
So caravans or groups are very well organized. And so they have like memberships, and so people know where they're gonna meet. They work together with the Mexican government to process their documents, everything before they cross. So it's very well organized. This specific caravan, the one from the 7th, that's the big one, and it's, on 2019, we had almost 1,000 vehicles.
The 7th of December,
Yes,
next week,
next week,
Tuesday.
yes. So
so those
2019
paisanos
was
that
our-
are going,
Yeah, it's all paisanos going,
And
over
they
there.
come packed with a lot of their
Mhm.
own gifts and everything that
Yeah.
they've taken.
And the, as Magali, described, this is their last stop. And so a lot of them shop here, they're those last little things that they need.
it's just like going to, that you're flying out of an airport and you forgot, and you go to the gift
Yes,
shop. and-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is their last stop
Last
before
stop.
going into Mexico. And because of how they're organized, once they go into Mexico, they're escorted to like the different areas of the country.
So it's a good caravan.
It's a good
Yeah.
pair.
It's not a caravan, No. they're all for sale.
No, it's a good caravan.
Well, that sounds very promising.
It's strange because I have a nephew who runs a business here in town, but he's San Antonio, and one day he came on a weekend.
Mhm.
He could not find a place to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and that's
He
something.
could not find a place to stay, and he asked around.
Mhm.
I think, well, you know what? He found out mostly National Guard,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
mostly National Guard people. He could not find a place, and I says, but you should come to the house. But, you know,
And Zapata I saw the news that they're gonna get 1,000 National Guard. Some of them might be even staying here in Laredo. Because Zapata doesn't have that many hotels.
Doesn't have that.
So they can move on down to the valley one little bit.
Yeah.
So if you see tents, that doesn't mean they're, what do you call it, Haitians.
Yeah.
They're good guys.
One of the
That's
things
for
that,
sure.
so we're gonna have, so many groups converge here for, December. One is the caravans, one is National Guard, the paisanos, and remember now that we have the border open. So restrictions, good
I
morning.
remember.
I'd like to make note that Mr. Carmina has joined our meeting. Thank you, Mr. Carmina, for coming in.
Yes.
Yes, we-
Aye, sir. What's them the? I believe that's what you do.
Yes, this is the earliest they've been. They usually are on the second week. It also comes into the,
Yes,
it's really
right.
early.
Maybe they don't want to be part of the.
I usually plan not to have any
Problem.
parties across or anything, so I have to cross. That weekend, so it is, I was thinking it was gonna be.
So caravan, what they do is they come in on, during the day on the 7th, and then they overnight here, and they leave like around 5 in the morning. So on the 8th, try not to cross or
Be in town.
plan how to get to downtown. Yeah.
Which date is that?
The 7th.
The 7th and
December
8th, that's where
7th
the
and 8th.
caravan is gonna come.
Oh my God.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
super nice.
So, just looking at the whole picture, the hotels are full, we're not collecting the taxes. What does the LCDB do in a situation like that, since the funding really comes in through the occupancy taxes? I'm just not really familiar with like what happens in that aspect.
So what we have done is because we were very, very cautious during the COVID times and we collected more money than we expected. We do have some money in the bank, right? So we do have some money saved.
Set aside.
So as we move forward, we continue to be very cautious on how we're spending the monies and how we, the one thing that we definitely don't cut is advertising. Last year, we cut a lot of the advertising. This year, we're planning to cut less or to spend a little bit more on advertising because this is what we need it most. But the rest we monitor to
I see
see.
that the outlets have been advertising more in the newspaper and on television, and that was one of the suggestions that I had, the year before last, I think, you never saw any advertising for
Yeah.
outlet malls, and how are you gonna let the people know that they're here? I mean,
Yeah.
everybody watches TV, and they should put it in the time of the novelas, everybody watches. That's true, totally.
Not everybody has social media, but a lot of people don't have social media, have that outlet that
And I see that they have by the whole back page of the Laredo Morning Times, and it's a,
And even, we always concentrate on our travelers from Mexico, but also
they're
the
cute.
people that come from, like, from the state, they want a place to shop, and they ask around at the hotels,
Yeah.
and they have no idea that we have the outlet, so I
Yeah,
don't know.
That's something to talk about, I think, because in the future, that's a very important population, that you want to target. I mean, those are clients, those are,
Yeah.
they've got, and they come and they, like they said, they want to shop. That means that they have
They
money.
want to
Yeah.
spend their time, when they're here, and especially around this time of the year, so.
and that is one change we're doing with our marketing this
Yeah.
year. We're focusing a lot more on the US,
And
not
it's perfect.
forgetting about Mexico, but we're focusing a lot more
And I
on the
think it's
US.
ideal, because that's something that.
That helps
there's a lot of
all of
potential.
us, I mean, the hotels here and
Yes.
everything.
And
By the
our
way-
places, our places to eat.
Yeah.
We've often said this, that Laredo Taco Company. Some friends of mine were in Big Bend over the weekend, in the middle of nowhere near Marfa, Texas, in the, Laredo Taco Company.
I know.
And they stopped there and they ate at Little Marfa Cafe, here and there at that Lingua. He says, pero the stripes with the Laredo Taco Company,
It's a hit.
delicious. Everybody said, hey, wow. you know, and it's neat that it has our name on it, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Laredo Taco.
And we participated with the Laredo Tech Company recently on a project that they
Yes,
had.
I know you did, I know you have.
Yeah, so we definitely, we do agree with you. We want to replicate the efforts. We've been successful in the efforts that we've done in Mexico. We want to replicate that formula over here.
Yeah.
Because when people are here, they stay like at the hotel. They came specifically here to Laredo, I mean, and they're here and they have money to spend, and so they're asking, where do we go? I mean, if we have no place to show them, pues entonces, you know.
And we can't forget about our business traveler. We definitely want our business traveler to know what to do, where to go, what attractions.
And those are actually like the main clients that we have, the
Yeah.
business travelers.
Yes.
When your clients ask you where to go, you don't have no
Oh, no,
information?
yes, we do.
Because I think maybe that'll be an idea too, a pamphlet,
Yeah.
a
No,
brochure of maybe downtown, mall, imports, you know,
yes.
something like that.
That's a good.
Instead of making
idea.
4 different ones, make one.
We have, remember that we have our mobile application?
Yeah.
So our mobile app has all that information. And also, every time that any hotel sends people to our destination training, they get a binder, with that information so that they can, that's their reference, that's reference material.
Yeah.
So that they
And
can.
sometimes giving the clients something they can hold in their hand,
They can take it with them, you know.
Yeah.
they can-
especially, you know,
I think one thing that it's a great idea, is the maps. Those maps, like,
Yes.
that you can get, like, in
because
Santa Walk, and they give you the area and, you know, and,
And then they put that little red.
yes, like something like that for the downtown area.
We
might be a
do
good
have
idea.
maps, available, so
Yeah.
if we haven't given to you.
But are those like?
Do you
like-
highlight, do you highlight
I think
it?
the last time
We
when
have
I was
their-
here, I think I asked
Should-
for some, yeah.
should.
Mhm.
the perfect example is the Sister
Yeah.
City postcard.
Yes.
When y'all delivered, almost everyone I give one to, they showed up at Sister City, so I know it works, because they
By the
have
way-
something physically in their hand.
How did that do? I mean, how successful or?
It went very well.
Yeah.
It went very well. We had vendors sell out by Saturday. We had several vendors sell out by Saturday.
That was not
So-
Sister Cities, right?
No,
No.
it's holiday market vices.
Holiday.
It was in lieu of the sister cities.
It's,
And I think that was an
This is the one that we
experiment.
have.
you know.
exactly.
So
So,
it's, so you guys
Yes.
could see.
so that's our tariff map.
Okay. Last time I was here, I think I requested some, so
So we'll make sure. it's
Yeah.
not
I didn't know what they were.
All right, GPS.
In general.
The original GPS.
Yeah, we'll give you more, so you guys can see it.
I mean, how many people attended? I wanna know how, when you say success, how do they, what do you call success? I mean, that may have just brought not a lot because it, you know, they didn't know how to get
Cross
them.
stuff maybe, or?
So there's, our measure, because we can't, it's difficult to count people here at the.
Because you don't know if they're going to
Exactly.
to the mall.
But the way that we can count it is through sales, and so, I know, like, just, they haven't given us a report, it takes about a month to give us a full
So
report.
you will be giving us that report of what.
Exactly, in February I'll give you that report, but I can tell you, like, really briefly, that just on credit card sales, just credit card sales, Friday and Saturday, this is not counting Sunday, Friday and Saturday, credit card sales were about $20,000.
In Laredo.
No,
No,
in
no,
the,
here at
in the
the-
holiday market.
Oh, wow.
That was fantastic, you know, and I have a friend that, you know, the farmer's market also moved over
Mhm.
there. She says that she is just, I mean, she's just shocked at how well, she's been doing. She says the people there go and they buy and, you know, they have the money and they, you know, stop and buy from you. I mean, it's not the same as they were over here at the Jarvis, because, I mean, you have the homeless population there and it scares a lot of people. I mean,
And the parking and a lot of, you know.
todas esas cosas afecta, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So yeah, and we had the perfect storm because we had farmer's market on Saturday, we had the consulado was celebrating the Noviembre, we were there. So there were sales already going on for Black
A lot of
Friday.
traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Good
was
traffic.
good traffic. So yes, we saw the comments from the vendors were really good.
The parking lot was
Yeah.
packed.
Yeah, the parking was,
And a lot of people were taking advantage of the free parking at the city, all the parking meters.
That helped a lot.
That helped
I
a
don't know
lot.
why they don't extend it through December. I mean,
That's right, at least December the 15th or the 20th, right?
Yeah.
That would be great if they could do that.
Yeah.
but yeah, going back to what you were saying, we can definitely, we have the visitor guide that is
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
available.
sure.
Yes.
We can certainly, if a different piece, like a postcard or a black card, makes sense, let us know and we'll be happy to
This is
do
great.
that.
And I brought
This is
some
great.
maps if you need
Great.
some when we leave
Thank you,
adjourn the meeting.
And the color changed, now it's white, so it's easier to
Yeah.
highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, I know.
These are good. Yeah, because not a lot of people go online or look to where they can go, so it's more convenient to have something there
Yeah.
on the desk where they can just.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Okay.
take it and highlight it.
No,
And
it
it
makes
has,
it easier, like for example, at hotels, makes
Uh-huh.
it easier,
Yeah,
like
for
to,
hotel.
like you said, like highlight and you wanna go this area and these stores are here and I love that it has like the fields, like Google
Mhm.
field here and some that are a little bit more difficult to find, you know, you can,
in fact, it has downtown on the
Yeah.
back, so.
yeah.
Yeah, but again, if there's a piece that you feel like, you know what, a postcard or a wrap card would help us a lot, just let us know and we'll be happy.
Have it, I like Raymond's idea, little postcard, because people are busy, right? They want a quick read,
Mm-hmm,
A to Z.
mm-hmm.
A, we have this, B, we have Basket Alley for B.
You used to,
You know,
remember those
Yeah.
actual postcards that you, are those coming back anytime?
We have postcards,
Okay.
we have, so
Yes.
we have postcards, we'll do a packet and send it to you off.
Those are.
From
the-
A to
yes,
Z,
love
like-
them.
Yes.
They just love them. and they-
when we were at the food bank, we would always say, we serve South Texas from A to Z. What do you mean from A to Z? We had Asherton and we had Zapata. So from Asherton to Zapata, A to Z. ¿Verdad? And I mean, and everybody said, really? And in the middle, we have D, right? Del Rio. No.
And we commissioned a local artist to design those postcards.
Are those mini sets or the same one?
I don't know if you've seen the ones that we have, but, we have plenty of them.
I love those. So, talking about traffic and visitors, is it my perception or has it been slow, like with visitors coming from Mexico?
It's slow,
Yeah.
they have trickled in, they didn't come on like a wave,
Yeah.
like everybody.
Like a caravan they expected,
Uh-huh.
that they would be lining up for miles.
Yeah.
Exactly, and we've seen that along the border.
Similar situation that people start not vaccinated, they got.
The thing is, and a lot of the people have not had their visas renewed because, I mean, there was a backlog
taking
and
up-
now there's 3 or 4 months backlog, before they even give you a
A year
visa.
and a half.
They give you a beer or some shot.
People are getting.
Different kind of
Really?
Wow.
Yes,
So that's part of, you think that's part, I think that's
I
part of the
think that
problem.
is affecting a lot. I think the fact that a lot of people in Mexico got the other vaccines that are not, like for
Especially all
example,
the teachers.
all the
The
teachers,
J&J or nothing,
all the teachers got the Cancino. And that one is not.
that's the
approved.
one that they don't really
They
recommend.
didn't approve. Everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people between the ages, which is our market, like 35 to 40, 50, got Sputnik.
Oh, That's
So-
the Russian one, right?
Yes,
The
Yes,
Russian
which is not approved. That one has been in the process of of trying to get approvals for a while, but it hasn't been approved.
Well, I may as well just go directly to the booster shot,
I heard a lot of teachers are getting vaccinated at the Colombia Bridge. Is that
Yes, so
still?
a lot of teachers from Nuevo Laredo,
From
yes.
Nuevo Laredo.
Yes, and Laredo has been assisting with also vaccination from Nuevo León. People from Nuevo León, the government in Nuevo León, in coordination with Laredo, have been vaccinating people in Colombia.
Yes, that is.
That's, nobody, I don't think anybody, could see that, could see that there would be a problem, but it has become.
Yeah, and I mean, and people continue to, we have seen, this week we have a few influencers from Monterrey, and some of them had already been here. they're like, oh no, it's my second trip since the bridge opened. So people are coming, it's just, we all expected, like, open the door, waves of people will
I saw
come.
that El Gordo from Monterrey.
Yes, he's here. He's here, we brought him, his wife is also an influencer, and 2 more.
He says a blog,
You have to see.
he's a foodie, like everything food related, he knows about it. and-
He's
So,
very popular.
Yeah, very popular.
It's called El Blog del Gordo. He's extremely popular in Monterrey and
Beware if you follow him because
You wanna
be
eat
posting,
everything.
yeah. Yes.
Well, that's good to know, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, so, okay, bueno, I mean, I'm happy that things are coming along and, you know, I expected a lot more people, you know, to be crossing than when they initially announced it, I said, what, I mean, what's going on? And then, you know, I started talking about, you know, the problems with the visas and they were delayed, like you say, until 2023.
right now, like renew at the beginning, so during the summer, renewals were taking, like, you would get, if you were renewing your visa, they were giving you appointments for 6 months to a year. And if you were getting a new visa, it was until 23 directly. Now, it's so backlogged that if you're trying to renew, you might get your appointment in 23.
Wow.
So a lot of people that just had their visa expire won't be able to come. And it's a lot of people that have mentioned that to us.
Oh, I'm telling you, I know.
So the vaccines that they have received that are not accepted over here in the US, are they able to mix and get the Moderna or get anything that
A
we
lot of
have?
people have.
And then they'll let them come in?
Mhm.
Okay.
Like, we know of people that visited us before November 8th, where the restriction was already put in place, and they did that. I mean, I don't know how recommend, I mean, not a doctor.
Medically or
Makes
whatever.
sense.
Recommended it, but I know people that have done it.
Yeah, well, they were saying that wouldn't be a problem, I don't know, with the Moderna and the Pfizer and then the Johnson & Johnson, which was the one that didn't give you enough
Mhm.
protection. But with the booster, I mean, it's just like, you know, your immune
And a lot
system.
of what we've seen is people bringing their kids to get vaccinated. We are seeing that.
And then you have people here that have kids and they don't wanna take them to get vaccinated. How crazy is that?
It usually is that way, Judy. You know, when the availability is there, it's those people that don't want it, but the people that can't get it, they want it more. It's like,
Así es, you're
it's just
absolutely
the
right.
way society is.
That's the way it is, but
Yeah.
it boggles the mind. But I'm so glad that it went well, you know, this festival. I think it was, I mean, you know, I wondered, as I'm gonna ask Eileen, because I've been asking, I didn't see anything in the paper, you know, so.
It's been quite, we've been so busy. It's been quite difficult for us to catch up in some of the things. And for this event, we didn't know if it was gonna happen. So we didn't wanna put all the monies into advertising if we didn't know it was gonna happen. So it
But it's
was,
still a success.
It was yeah.
There was a lot of advertising on TV. I saw it
Yeah,
every
once-
so often. It was
Once you knew that it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
once we knew it was gonna happen,
Yeah.
so there was a lot on that weekend. We did a lot on that week. We did interviews, we did remotes, we did
Remotes.
radio, and
Yeah.
we
You know,
tried to.
people are looking for things to do on the weekend. I
Yeah.
mean, that's just a fact of what, you know, people are doing right now because having been through the pandemic and not doing anything for almost 2 years, and it's like,
And a lot of people missed Sisters City. And I don't know, I mean, you were there as an exhibitor, Mr. Cameron?
We did good, well, the only problem at the beginning was, it was kind of gloomy, kind of dark. But we went out and bought about $100 worth of lights. Because of all the black curtains, the walls, it made it more dark.
Oh, okay.
And there wasn't enough lights. If those black curtains hadn't been there, I think that more light would have come in.
Okay.
Plus the day, we couldn't get any sunlight from the day because
Yeah.
it was gloomy that day.
Yeah.
So it was very dark, but once we had the lights, our sales went up. Because
oh,
you really couldn't see
wonderful,
the stuff.
really? That's a good, you know,
That's good.
I just feel bad for the people who are still in the dark.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
I
So
don't
next
know
time we
if
should
you
probably
feedback
do
about
the
light.
black.
Not about the lighting, we have feedback about, So the space that we used was a space that's, it's new, nobody has used it before. So the HVAC, the ventilation, it's open. There's no grid, there's no,
Oh, there's just a hole there?
it's just
Yeah.
a hole. And so it was either super cold or really hot. Because we had to like,
Yeah, because
Adjust the temperature, yeah.
exactly.
it's a brand new building, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so-
a brand new space,
So,
nobody has used it.
so there was just enough light to, in other words, whoever goes in has to put more light in it, obviously. So you have one booth with, and I like besides the lights, and then about 10 feet, another light. So you have one booth that's lit up, one that's dark, one that's lit, one that's
And the
dark.
thing is that you could tell the difference, you know, when one is lit,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
see the other one that's dark, you say, well, what's wrong with this
I never
picture?
turn on the rest of the lights. There's no more.
There
Yeah.
were no, yeah.
Yeah.
And then once you have, you're full of merchandise, full of people, the gloomy day, so you don't get the sunlight either coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went to, Harbor Freight House.
Harbor Freight, yeah.
And we bought these lights and a long extension cord.
Okay, no, that's we appreciate that feedback, because yeah,
We'll probably change the screens, the backdrop not to be
The
I
black.
think the drape to be not black but in color.
and this is something, this is an event that based on the conversations that we had before the pandemic, this is the effort of the extension of Sister Cities, right? So we want to extend the brand, we want to make the brand more present during the year, and so this is
Are we gonna have two events then?
this is a mini one, so yeah, the idea.
Well, that's wonderful. I think the more, events,
Mhm.
the better, and I think if you're having, success, that people are supporting it, I mean, that's
You
just.
know, would the holiday would be at the outlet mall or,
The idea would be if they keep having space for us, the idea would be
the only problem
to,
is it gets rented, that store.
How much space do you need for that?
well, this time we had, it was pretty big, I don't know exactly how many square feet there were, but it's a pretty big space because it's.
That store, it's probably at least 9,000-10,000 square feet.
Probably,
That's
it's probably the same
big.
size as this, right?
just that store. And
That's-
then we had the Brooks,
Which is
an-
about
another
5,000 square
5,000.
Yeah.
So it's about 16,000 square feet in total.
So everybody got a space of how big?
Same as at the arena, it
10 by
was
10.
a 10 by 10.
Wow.
And then plus we had the food court, so that's another space
Yeah.
there.
So the way it worked is the regular booths, you would see them at that space where the vendors were, the big space. And then Bruce Brothers, they didn't take their furniture, so it worked perfectly for jewelry and shoes.
Oh, how nice.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so they didn't quite have a booth, but they used the furnishings that were in the space, and it just worked perfectly. And then the food was in the food court, because right now they don't have any food vendors, any restaurants at the food court. They have the two restaurants, but nobody at the food hall. So we had all the food vendors at the food hall.
How nice.
So it kind of, it all worked, and the outlet they were so helpful, they were so gracious.
And I bet you they were very happy to
Yeah.
see
I
that many
think
people.
it all
because-
worked together, and then we realized that Main Street was gonna be there too, that the consulate was gonna be there too, so we kind of worked together to promote
What did Main Street have?
The farmer's market.
No.
Farmers
Did
market.
they give you a special price or
The,
they just allowed it to you, the property?
we did have some rental fees, but it was way lower than what we have
The
usually.
theory.
So there were some fees, but it was agreed, it was to help us like,
Yeah.
make sure that.
And the advantage of this event that you had this, that you had it at this time, people are looking for something different to buy for Christmas. I mean, their gifts, you know, that you know, you don't ordinarily see at any store, or you have to go to Mexico, Nuevo Laredo, a comprar. You know, people don't wanna go, I mean, not yet. Some people do, I know you do, right?
Every once in a while.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have a party.
And that's every weekend.
Every other
No,
weekend.
it's not special holidays, yeah.
Sister Cities is going to be there, right?
Which one?
Like
In July?
No. Sister Cities is gonna be at the arena in July.
Oh, it's still at the arena.
So this one, and that's why we didn't call this one Sister Cities Festival.
Right, so because you mentioned last time or sometime in October that Sister Cities was gonna be here, and I questioned the traffic.
Oh, no.
No,
The
it's
holiday
still gonna
market
be at
by
the
Sister
arena.
Cities is at
You call it the what, the holiday?
Holiday
Market by Sister Cities. So we wanted it to be under the umbrella of Sister Cities, so people knew that we
Okay.
were bringing our vendors from Sister Cities, but not call it Sister Cities.
Yeah.
So we called it the Holiday
To
Market
say how it
by
is.
Sister Cities. And so it's like the little hijito of Sister Cities.
Well, that was great. I mean, that was a great idea. Congratulations. And, you know,
Yes,
the
it was.
success of it, because it's the first time. And first times are always, you know, so telling if they're gonna be successful or not. I mean, you know, that's just the way it plays out.
I'm glad you didn't call it the first annual, because it's not a first,
Yeah.
it doesn't become annual until the second year, ¿verdad?
So it was the first holiday
It was
market.
the first one, ¿verdad?
Yes.
And now, if we're gonna have it next year, it'll be the second annual. Wow.
Exactly.
We're
So,
gonna see
yes,
it.
we
Let me ask you,
keep it.
the,
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good idea.
The avocado festival was canceled, right?
Correct.
What?
We didn't know at the point where we were trying to decide everything, we didn't know Delta was very prevalent. And so we didn't know if we were gonna be able to have it or not. And that's a bigger event. This one, because we already have the know-how of Sister Cities, we already have everything, it was easier to turn on or off. Avocado Fest was a whole new concept that we needed to
The
develop.
thing is that you have this other variant that's now, you know, coming, another found the variant in several, you know, in Santa California and I don't know what other states. So that's something else that might affect everything. So everybody's on a holding pattern ahorita because
And that's what happened to us with Avocado Fest.
Because right now avocados is just real popular in everything, jewelry,
Yes.
Christmas
Yeah.
ornaments, everything.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
and you'll see in one of the, well, no, you won't see it, but I was in Michoacan with a delegation from the city and we went to visit an avocado packing company. And, we went to the avocado capital of the world.
Yes.
Which is Uruapan. The city signed an agreement with Uruapan, so now it's gonna be, and
I have a family friend that is from Uruapan, so we were invited to this quinceañera. Many years ago, many
Oh, I thought it
years
was
ago,
just
before it was
recently.
so bad, right? I
no, tú eres
remember,
invitado, tienes-
I remember that the avocado trees in the street, like you can find avocados in the sidewalks.
They don't even eat them
And
anymore.
it's,
They're up to
yeah, it is that bad, like they have so much,
yeah.
and it's everywhere,
I remember
everywhere.
going to Irapuan to the avocado factory or the,
Yeah.
where they were growing. And it's
Yeah.
like, wow,
Yes.
I mean, this is really,
Yeah,
puedes agarrar.
yes, yes.
So no, it was quite interesting, and so we saw, there was a shop with everything, everything avocado, like jewelry, like everything. So, yeah, no, we definitely.
We have
Can you eat it?
avocado Christmas ornaments.
¿Te la puedes comer?
Avocado earrings, keychains,
Nah.
avocado necklaces, bracelets, earrings.
Todo. Wow, thank you very much for that report. It's very positive, you know, and you know, and
How was yesterday, the tree lighting?
It was good, it was
I saw it
quite,
on TV.
yeah, there was quite a good number of people,
A lot of traffic goes.
A lot of traffic,
yes.
Traffic
I
is
almost
horrible.
didn't get
Yes.
to the tree lighting because I was stuck in
Oh my
traffic.
God.
That's one
horrible.
thing that we need to work on is the traffic. I mean, I'm
Yes.
glad that they're in Springfield, you know,
Yeah,
the north-south, and opening the
But
street all the
it's
way
the
to.
loop, the loop.
yeah, I got stuck.
And
Saunders,
Lupus Campbell,
and then-
Sun- yeah.
In the mornings, it's south to north. In the afternoons, north to south. Oh my God. Bumper to bumper.
What do you think how do you think, what do you think that needs to happen to be able to alleviate that or to?
I think that, and this is the.
The only passes and we're
Yeah,
working on that.
The
We're
city,
working on
the city and TechStop are working on those plans for the overpass, because that's what,
Yes.
stopping at the lights is what creates the traffic, so
Whoever thought of that was,
they didn't think.
I remember driving on the loop like in 1997, before it like even opened.
and you
there
were
were
in
3
one
cars,
minute.
yes. And it was scary because there were no lights on the loop.
Yeah.
Everybody used to say, oh, they look like, why do you have to take a
Don't
look?
they? That's so dark.
What do you
It was so dark,
And they
it
were
was
real.
scary.
I mean, it's like, what do you need it? And then now we know why, I mean, all of these traffic jams, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
Just come to the Mines Road every day then. I live in the Bota and Ave Maria. I can say 2 rosaries from Del Mar to the Bota.
So you probably could do the whole thing. That's true. Oh, good.
It says Santa Maria Avenue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch it to say Ave Maria.
Depending on the hour. 'Cause we try to go to the max, like,
That takes you about 40 minutes, because that's how long I take to pray 2 decades of the rosary when I'm walking.
2 decades of the rosary, don't put it up. I'm getting out of purgatory.
it takes 2 rosaries. Yeah, I'm a little slower.
Another comment that I wanted to make is, I love how the city, during Halloween, how they had all the festivities, like the councilmen had different festivities I think that's wonderful in the way they're promoting it, and right now, like for Christmas, the same thing. I think there has to be more of that all the time.
Community
Yes.
involved, get the people involved, I mean, that's what people want, to be
And it-
out and.
There's something to do. It's really nice to see, you know.
And there's a whole list, every council district has something for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
if
it's
you
so-
haven't seen the list.
I saw it, I don't want to be one, but I love to see
I
that.
can
There's something.
add you all to the newsletter from the city. The city sends a newsletter every week.
Please, so
And
we can see what the
we'll
activities are.
ask Lisa to add you to the list. And you can get all the different events are happening.
The one here at St. Peter's.
St. Peter's, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
sounds like it's gonna be very nice.
That's gonna be this
This
weekend?
weekend, right?
Is
Yeah.
it this weekend or next
I
weekend?
think, there's so
I
many, I
think
didn't.
it's
No, it's next weekend.
next weekend, right? Yeah.
But it seems like it's gonna be
Very-
nice.
Yeah, because I think they're District A and they're kind of like, for some reason they started like by the districts, like,
I think it's a
Lisa's
little
gonna-
bit,
is that
every
Lisa's, right?
event is a little bit different.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every council, I think the one in District 7 is the Grinch
Yes.
themed, and then downtown is a little bit different, and so every.
Look at Mike's, I mean, Albert is my city council.
Mhm. So they have, everyone is a little
A
bit
little
different.
bit different, yeah.
Well, it's interesting,
very
okay,
nice.
when, I mean, I
Very nice to see
agree with
that.
all what is going on. But I would also like to see something downtown, because, I mean, that's what we need.
Yeah,
more.
there is
That
one
one at St.
downtown.
Peter's seems to be very, very nice.
The free parking downtown, is that like, just a trial to figure out if that'll help the city, downtown?
That was a request from Councilmember, I believe Councilmember Cigarroa. To do it for, to see how it would help. I don't know if they're looking into,
Is there any feedback so far, what you've heard?
I haven't heard, but I can certainly
But as far as
ask.
people, citizens saying, I like going downtown on the street parking?
I haven't heard anything yet, but I can certainly ask if there has been
I'm
any
just curious
feedback.
to see if it will help us, downtown.
I
Of
want
course,
to say
and
it's the
everything
second or
else.
third time they've done it. And, I don't want to say annually, but I want to say they did it 1 month last year, and it may have been November as well. I don't know if y'all recall that, or it even started when we were at 501 at the other building.
Oh,
I know they've done it before.
Yeah.
It may be an annual thing in November.
I'll check the,
Yeah.
yeah. I'll
It'd be
ask.
nice to see if it really does improve, I mean,
I mean, you know,
Like
if you drive
downtown,
through
the stores
downtown,
are
you
empty.
still see most of the, lot of the stores are closed, so it's-
Yeah.
There's a lot of stores closed.
Hopefully now
It's
that
very
the
dark,
people
yeah.
from Novolado can come across, it will get a little bit
See,
better.
but, I mean, can you imagine how discouraging it is to come downtown and just to see so many stores closed? And they look and then they walk away and it's like.
there's a store I buy on a tape, package of it, and it was like at 1:30, she said I was her first customer.
Wow.
At 1:30, and she was at 9. I said, wow.
That's
scary.
sad, yeah.
Very sad. So I'm hoping that this free parking helps all those downtown merchants.
Well, I think everybody, it was a really good discussion on what we were
I think
talking
we're all
about.
very animated, right?
And
Excited.
we'll start with our November activity report. We're going to go straight into the assistant director's report, or report which is is on page 7.
Morning, Madam Chair. One of the things that I wanted to highlight, I was very fortunate to go with Selena to Monterrey. It was my first press conference. I'm promoting Black Friday, and it was a lot of fun. I think we had with ADS, which is our marketing firm that helps us over there with our advertising and public relations and everything. In Casa Laredo, they did an outstanding job. Both Casa Laredo and ADS, they helped us get a lot of interviews, both in radio and TV. And it was just, putting a map of Laredo again and telling that we're ready and we were open. And oh my God, I was bombarded with cameras, like, good Lord, like, oh my God, I thought I was a superstar. But it was a lot of fun. We actually even had somebody from CBP, Rick Pausa, to give a overall of everything, of the new policies that they have in place, all the procedures that they have with the COVID vaccine and everything. So it was very, very successful. We had close to 80 between media. We had some influencers that went there as well. So it was super good. We were really excited, and it was now when Irene kind of tells me about it, I had to experience and running from one radio station or TV station going to another one, and traffic and everything. But it was a lot of fun. It's a whole day thing, but it was really busy, but it moved really good, and it was just a lot of fun. Yeah, after a while you already know what you're gonna say. It just comes out natural.
Practice.
Yeah. So I didn't even see my notes anymore. It was just fluent. So, but it was a lot of fun, and got to promote Laredo, and a lot of people told me, I had friends and family, because they were able to see it here in Laredo. They say, hey, we saw you on TV, and it was awesome, and so really excited, and so really. I think it was really good, and that was one of the things that I wanted to highlight. I'm not sure if you have any other questions regarding my report.
Just to add to Horace, that was the second press conference and media tour that we had in a month. The first one was Mexico City. So, yeah, this one, what we did is, and that's why we're kind of cross-training, and that's why we divided the teams, and to make sure that we had more people that know how to do it. So Reina and I together with our city manager went to Mexico City, and together with some partners, we took the MAX, we took Chamber of Commerce, the airport. We went to Mexico City to do the same thing. So press conference in coordination with IDOMAC. And so we had a press conference, we had events. Media tour the same. We went to several radio stations, TV stations there in Mexico City, and so we did that at the beginning of November. Well, the second week in November.
November 8 and 9. Okay.
And so we had those two events happening last month.
Oh, and how did you travel to Monterrey? Did you buy a car or?
No, in the flying,
From here, Laredo?
from Laredo, Houston, and Houston to Monterrey.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that like a long way around?
That's a long way.
Yeah, but it's kind of long, but it
But
was.
it's like for the safety,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I was
Yeah.
asking.
So in all previous years, we have, we drive, we usually drive. This year, because it was a new team, things are still kind of like start to go. But because it was a new team, new people that were going, we decided to.
Well, and the corridor is labeled as one of the most dangerous ones in the, not only in the country, but in the world. I mean, it's just been
So we went this time.
unfortunate though. I mean,
And so, yeah, this time.
It's probably the safest way to do it.
Yeah.
Safety.
Safety comes first.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of our visitors are coming on the highway, so it's still, and it might be something that it's affecting also our numbers. The fact that during the pandemic, it was labeled as one of the most unsafe
Corridors.
corridors.
Yeah.
So that might be also something that's affecting us.
Well, something happens between Monterrey and Nuevo Laredo that, people disappear, that lady with her 2 kids, I mean, they never showed up. God only knows what happened.
Disappeared.
So we want to make sure that we, hopefully that will change now with the new government
Mhm.
and both sides, so.
Well, yes, we hope and pray.
We're hopeful.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions for Joel? If not, Joel, thank you very much. Moving on to the services coordinator, which is on page 9. Eileen will be reviewing Veronica's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Veronica is right now in Guadalajara with a delegation from the city. We have a Port Laredo promotional trip together with Sister Cities, meeting with some of the municipios there. They have a lot of arts and crafts there in Jalisco, Tonalá, Tlaquepaque, and so we're searching for more newer, different products. So that is over there. But on her report, I would like to highlight on the second page of her report, the Nuevo León signing of agreement of ribbon cutting. So while a couple of us were in Mexico City with the event, the rest of the team was here, working together with PIO and other city departments, putting together an event, the signing of agreement with Nuevo León. So the city of Laredo signed an agreement with the new government of Nuevo León, the new governor.
He's young, he looks like a teenager.
Yeah.
And so,
He is.
there was an agreement that was signed, there was a donation of a fire truck, and also, and I know that you discussed it a little bit on our previous meeting, but they will have an office of representation here inside CBP. We already had the office of representation for Nuevo Laredo, so now we're adding the office of representation for Nuevo León. So
That's good.
yeah, and us having an office in Nuevo León with Casa Laredo, them having an office here, it made sense for management and for council to house them here. So the ribbon cutting for that office happened that same day too.
Are they planning or like they want to impose more the Colombia
Yes.
crossing, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Which
Are they gonna have any campaigns like to?
I'm not sure, the new government just started, and so they are trying to analyze what they want to do to promote. I know that they want to make sure that there's more traffic happening through there and to promote more people from Nuevo León and the state to use that, especially also for international trade. So they want to enhance that part as well.
Yeah, that's, it's kind of a two-edged sword, because I know that the people here in Nuevo Laredo and Tamaulipas are
Yeah.
totally opposed, not opposed to it, but they have a problem with that.
Yes.
That you route the traffic through Nuevo León. And then, as a matter of fact, we still share, a border with Coahuila, which is another upcoming, thing that people need to talk about.
So, yeah, and
Yeah.
Mayor has also been very vocal about like making sure that we don't forget about Tamaulipas, and
Well, I
so,
think that the people from here, the transporters and the custom brokers and
Yes.
all of that are very,
yeah,
very vocal.
yeah. So there's, I mean, Nuevo León, that's the only bridge that they have, so they are,
They have to, I mean,
They
it's
are
to their
promoting their-
benefit, and
In order to-
do you blame them? I don't blame them,
Yeah,
but then you
it's-
also have, the other thing here.
so there's gonna be, and then there's the other bridge potentially coming, or talks about another bridge.
But that's
so-
gonna be in south.
Yeah, so there's many things happening, and that's why, that is not necessarily, that's not distracting us from all the promotion for Port Laredo, because we understand that, like we said, business traveler is key for us to, I mean, it's the bread and butter to be
All
really.
of those studies from those bridges over there were doing during the time that I was in the commissioner's court, and that's been over 20 years, but those plans and those locations were already, talked about, and, this were something that had been negotiated, and, the thing is that you have Rio Bravo and Cenizo that could potentially develop, and have a lot of revenue coming in if they place them at that place
in that area.
contemplated.
So there's a lot coming up, definitely also for Port Laredo.
Mañana.
No, it just takes time, Salvador. Nobody knows, I mean, so many agencies that are involved, and then we had the problem with the city of Red County, but the city of Laredo, I mean, which is, and it
So,
was,
yeah, there's a lot of things happening, but there's gonna be things that are gonna enhance the offerings that we have as a board. So that's one.
Well, I mean, all we can do is see the future, you know, within our grasp and see, you know, what's gonna be happening, which is exciting, you know, to see it.
Yeah,
Probably won't be in my lifetime, but it will happen. It'll happen.
we say if it happens before we retire, we all retire.
That would be something nice to see.
I mean, I'm not too familiar, but just you can share with us what is the purpose of the agreement with Nuevo Leon? What is the main purpose of that
So-
agreement?
The main purpose is to enhance international trade. Yes, so Nuevo Leon is a big location for industry, is one of the biggest, largest industry hubs for Mexico. They have a lot of automotive, Kia, Pesqueria is one of the suburbs around Monterrey. And they have the Kia plant. Together with the Kia plant, there's a lot of other parts of the industry, because that's a just-in-time plant, so they need to have everything.
All the components. to
All the
whatever.
components around them, so it's almost like another city. So all those, and then it's a corridor that also comes from San Luis Potosí and Aguascalientes and the Bajío region, which is also very big in automotive components. So all that, they want to make sure that we have a solid relationship to bring all that trade through here. And also there's a highway, La Carretera La Gloria, which needs development, so
Okay.
also making sure that there's.
That's the other thing, that the highway on the Nuevo Leon side, I mean,
Mhm.
needs to, I mean, a lot of work.
So there's commitment now from the new government to work on that highway, but it's the primary focus is
International trade.
international trade. Yeah. There's some humanitarian component, as you see with the donations, the fire trucks, a cultural component with us there with the Sister Cities Festival, but the core of the agreement is the international trade.
So it's more focused or more detailed than the combinations where you have Canada, US, and Mexico, and now
Yeah,
it's
it's
getting
like laser,
more specific
Exactly.
as to the more breakdown of our agreements.
exactly, and how Nuevo Leon is connected to Laredo.
Right.
And Tamaulipas is saying, what about us, right?
Oh,
No, they're gonna be there, I mean, you know, they haven't never been shortchanged in this.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
relationship with Tamaulipas is very strong, but
Yeah.
now
It's solid,
we're
I mean,
at-
it's-
yeah, no, it's on a daily basis.
A lot of the
Yeah.
Mexican custom brokers that, you know, have offices in Nuevo Laredo have offices here,
Yes,
so. you know.
no, it's just adding to, it's not substituting any.
Right. But the perception for them, ¿verdad? Sometimes,
I can't.
yeah, no.
That's
I
politics,
have-
you know,
I
it's
have no-
politics, I mean, and it's always gonna be there because it's, you know, you're in the same business, so it's, you know, everybody wants to do well.
Yeah.
And you share.
And they put the reapertura del puente de Colombia.
Reapertura. Because that was on the 8th,
Sí, la reapertura.
So they
and so they used that, it was the, yeah,
Reopening.
reopening because of the list.
Reopening.
It was technically the lifting of the restrictions, but they called it the reapertura.
Well, thank you, Eileen. Does anybody else have any other questions? If not, we'll move into the marketing manager's report. Eileen's gonna also review that. That's on page 11.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
One thing, really quick, I'm sorry, it says here about the Paisano rest stop,
Uh-huh.
is it 17 to the 19, is that gonna be 7 to 9?
No, so there's two events happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the caravan is 7th through the 8th,
Okay,
and that is at the arena. So the group that would usually park there at
Yeah,
Walmart,
mm-hmm,
that's the caravan.
yes,
So that one got moved 7 to 8, and it's gonna be at the arena.
okay.
And then the,
17.
Do you redirect them as they're coming into Webb County or to the?
they already know, because that one, the caravan is very well organized, so they have an app.
And I know that you had a welcome station there, right?
So there's those are two different events. So the caravan, they come, they're very well organized, they know that they need to gather at the arena this year. Cause where they're gonna get their sticker, that's where they're gonna get, the rest of their paperwork done. And that's like their holding area at the arena. 7 through the night, and they leave 8 in the morning. And then the rest stop, which is the modulo that we have on the
Is
mile
it
marker
directed
13.
here to the outlets, no, to get there,
We had them last year, we had the caravan here at the outlet.
but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
It was
It didn't
crazy.
work, yeah, Juan and I have bad memories about that morning.
We're like moving traffic and
It's too much, it's too small of a space. They
They
didn't fit.
Whistle.
no, we didn't even have a whistle. We needed all the.
So we need.
We had just a flashlight and-
Like, the best.
Yeah.
So we're having, and we expect way more people this year, so we're having it at the arena. And then that's 7 and 8. And they get escorted by PD from the arena all the way to the bridge.
Really, what route do they take? I mean, it's good.
I don't know what route they're gonna take, but it's at 5 in the morning, so it shouldn't affect,
Unless you're out of the.
it shouldn't affect.
Too much traffic.
most of the
How many
community.
cars are they expecting?
2019 was 800 to 1,000 vehicles.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
And this
So-
year is at 1,000,
More,
what'd you say,
right?
1,000 about?
Yeah, about 1,000.
And what's their destination, different parts of Mexico, and they just drop?
Yes, so this caravan started in Jalpan de Serra, Querétaro, which is in the highlands of Querétaro in the mountains. But now throughout the years, this is year 12 or 13. And so throughout the years, they've been adding states and other cities. So now there's like 4 or 5 different states that have, and so they have, people from, even their elected officials come and welcome them here, and,
And it's to their benefit, I mean, these people have,
yeah, these people sent a lot of money back
yeah,
home, so,
money,
yeah.
you know, when they've been working all year.
So that's 7 and 8. They leave early in the morning, so they're by 8, by 8 AM on the 8th, they're already gone.
Completely gone.
Completely done. So then our Módulo Paisano, which is the rest up on mile marker 13, that one is 17th through the 19th. And we're gonna be there like the 48 hours that we
The
usually.
thing is that you really spaced them, you know, that's very nice, I mean, because.
No, we appreciate, because they gave us a date for the caravan and it just worked perfectly.
Because it's not.
Like you were saying, it's earlier this year, right?
Yes. It's closer. Usually it's that same week, but at the beginning of the week, the
So
caravan.
these 17, 18, 19, 17 to 19 is pretty much to those that come on their own, right?
Yes.
They're not part of the caravan.
Exactly.
And
There
then
is
there's a, they have the ability to do their paperwork and everything there.
there is a possibility that we have another caravan, but way smaller, like we're talking 300 vehicles.
That's
That's way smaller.
That's way smaller.
Consider way smaller. Eileen, pues que tiene.
Es una chiquita. And so there's a potential that that's gonna happen on the 17th too.
Can you imagine how much money they leave?
Oh, yeah.
They all have to buy gas, buy food, gosh, hotels.
And a lot of them make sure that they gas out for the last time here.
That they buy their last minute, you know.
That's very good that y'all wine and dine them, I mean, they're gonna appreciate that.
They eat at the
Every buck is
restaurant.
so snacks.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and we're the only border city that does that, because other cities have been trying to replicate it,
But they
and
can't.
they haven't been able.
No, it's because of you all, the way you know how to do it. I mean,
Secret formula.
We're a small team, but we're mighty.
que van a querer robar de nosotros.
No,
Don't let
no,
them do it.
no.
Don't give away your secret formula.
No, we won't. So that's 17th to the 19th, so I'll let you know about that other caravan. It's potentially on the 17th, but we don't know yet. If they confirm, if we're gonna station them, where we're gonna stage them.
You don't know yet?
Potentially, I think the stadium, I need to check if it's available. But, because I got the call
You have to
really
be there
last night.
you have to be there a long time to get situated, to get their paperwork.
That specific caravan should already come with their paperwork done, so they just need a staging area.
Stationary.
So they'll get everything online and do everything
Yeah.
online.
Would it be feasible, like you, maybe run a lot of taco trucks in that parking lot, so to help them out, so they don't have to venture out, and get out of line or something?
I would maybe try to do that for the 1,000 one,
Yeah.
maybe for next year, that would be a good idea. I
Right.
think that's a great idea for
Just
next
gonna invite
year.
them over, so
Yeah.
they
So
don't.
are you gonna buy a taco truck for next year?
It should take a lot of line and
They all stay in one place and get it processed.
Yeah, it's easier
Yeah.
just to get to and.
Yeah.
That's what
Because they want
happens
kids, you know, I mean,
with the
they're
caravan,
hungry.
with the
All the
caravan on
time.
the 7th. They do process everything there, and we've seen that the same groups, they bring food vendors. Because we've taken the health department has helped us go and check and give them permits and all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Food trucks.
But the food trucks is a good.
It's our version of Winter Texans.
Because there's so many, there's so many of them.
The Valley
Oh,
of Texas, we have White House.
Winter Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Okay, so going over the marketing manager's report, Selena's report is on page 11, Eileen.
Yes, so I already talked a little bit about the press conference that we had in Mexico City. Also, Selena and her team have been working with the Zimmerman Agency. We went through the process, and I think a couple of you were there for the Momentum meeting. It was really interesting, all the comments and all the feedback that they got from everybody that was there. And so now they're working with that information. They already presented us the results of the Momentum meeting. We really liked what they showed us, and so now they're gonna start running with that and doing the creative, doing all the different elements so we can have a brand new campaign.
Did they go before the council to explain to them if they? Yeah.
They haven't, because we haven't gotten to that, to
Okay,
that
they're
point.
just at the
December
stage.
Exactly, we're in the prep.
I
Okay.
think they're gonna present something on December 6th meeting maybe to the council.
No, that is our media buys.
Ah, okay.
So our media buys for the media buys, we have them on a calendar year, and we're gonna present them to council on Monday. All media buys that we're gonna present have been based on analysis and recommendation from both our agencies, based on what we want to achieve from our different campaigns. We're really excited with the change with the Zimmerman Agency. Just in the first month of working with them, we already had PR opportunities happening, which is something that we really stressed. We want to make sure, as I've said for a year and a half, we want to tell our story. We want to make sure we are the ones driving the topics and driving all the.
Yeah, because you let somebody else tell your story, it's not your
Exactly.
story. It's
So the Zimmerman Agency totally got our idea, and so they ran with it, and so we've already had a couple of stories on the media, on different media outlets with our telling our message. Sorry.
The PR report is on page 15.
Thank you, Mom. So, this is something that we're really excited. We do see things happening with the new agency that we're looking forward. Because we truly want our presence to be felt in the US market, especially, there's construction upstairs.
Fine, that's great.
Sorry.
Well, who's gonna throw myself under the table?
We have our ballroom construction happening right now upstairs, so we're gonna have our new space there. So yeah, we're really excited about the results, the short-term results that we're seeing with the Zimmerman Agency.
How long has it been, about month now?
About 2 months, October?
The what?
We started September?
August? I think
It
it was
was-
August, September.
September, it was September.
September,
Yeah.
November, 15.
Late August, early
Está
September.
bien, digo, but it's relatively short time. you know.
Yeah, no, and they just ran with it, and Because we were very clear about one we wanted, we want to, we know, because we're spoiled. Our agency in Mexico has spoiled us because they can almost read our minds. And so we were looking for something similar in the US. We know we're probably not gonna find exactly what we have there, but this is very, very close. And so we wanna make sure that we tell them exactly our objectives, what we want to achieve out of this contract, which is a much stronger presence of Laredo in the US, especially in our Texas market.
Very good.
I very much enjoyed that event with Zimmerman,
Yes.
especially the stories. There was a few of us there from this committee, right? The stories that they told, like the one Betty Flores when she went to China. I mean, Ave Maria, I didn't know that she did that. But it was very good. You did that. You guys did. I was going to say hell of a job, a heavenly job. You guys did a great job. It was
No, they do. We're really happy with what we're seeing from the agency.
right. And on this marketing report, what's this? The last one, editorial request.
So we get requests from different magazines, different outlets. We're also part of groups where people are looking for stories. And so in this case, Convention South, which is a magazine,
Right.
reached out to us for information.
Oh, Convention South is a magazine.
Exactly, yes. So we have those requests from different magazines. We have, as I mentioned, we're part of groups where they send like, hey, magazines in Texas are looking for this type of story. So we send stories, for example, we sent a story for the walking tour for Webb County Heritage. We've sent stories for, so we pitch our stories too. And now we enhance that opportunity through the Zimmerman Agency, which is something that we wanted to do. But the media outlets will rarely come to you and say, oh, we want a story from you.
Oh, yes.
We have to be pitching out stories. And so now that's what we're doing through the agency.
You have to knock. We have to knock on their door.
Exactly.
It's just like a nonprofit, right? You know, I mean, they're not going to come to the St. Patrick's Men's Club. What do you guys need?
Exactly.
You go over there and you say, satisfied?
We have to knock on their door, so, yes. I don't know if there's any other.
Any other questions?
The social media, I do. Before going to page 14, so you, Instagram?
Yes.
You promote more on Instagram, or you have more likes on Instagram?
It has been growing because of all the work that, so we've been getting a lot of influencers coming up to Laredo. And so what we have, influencers are, their universe is Instagram, basically. Instagram and some of them YouTube. But they have given great results.
So it's Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. not
Yeah, Facebook
no.
continues to grow exponentially. But yeah, on Instagram, we have a lot of people, a lot of the interaction we have with our market is through Instagram, and especially through the influencers that we've had.
It's growing.
It's growing, and now they're adding functions like TikTok functions, like the Reels, and so you have all that stuff happening there on Instagram. So a lot of the influencers that we work with live in that realm.
I should get it back. I do.
No, we highly recommend if you haven't seen the Instagram account right now. These days you can catch all the stories of all the influencers that we have yesterday and today, and we have the highlights of all the other influencers that we brought. And we try to bring very different markets. Like we don't stick with like one type of influencer or one type of market. So there are people that we brought from electronic DJs to food bloggers to, because we want to touch all lifestyle bloggers, to touch all those different types.
So do you have, who, like, people who dedicate promoting or moving the Instagram, or how does
Yes,
that
so
work?
we have Ana Reina, she's our
okay.
marketing coordinator. And she, under her scope of work is everything digital. And we also have, she works together with our agencies. So our agencies develop content, under her direction, under Selina's direction too. They develop content and they work together with us. So for example, to bring influencers is not just us choosing people, it's our agencies, recommending who it can be. We follow them, we see who makes sense for if we want that person to be linked to our brand. Because if it's somebody that is not within the brand, we don't, even if they have 3 million followers. We've had some options where we've had some influencers that have 3 million followers, but their content doesn't go with our brand. And so we don't want to be linked to that, right? So we're very careful about choosing who we want
Well,
to
I'm
be.
glad that you have those.
These are scams
Yes.
in that thing, Instagram and Facebook, they could be scams, right? Or no?
Not with influencers,
Yeah.
well, not with what we work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're very careful about who we choose, how we
Yeah,
determine.
it's whatever's gonna be
Exactly.
beneficial for the city of Laredo.
Exactly, we don't want somebody that might have a lot of likes again, but is not on brand with us. So. I hope I answered your.
Yes, thank you.
Are there any other questions for the marketing area? If not, we'll go to the Monterrey office, which is on page 17.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and they continue with their Zoom, Facebook Lives, but this month they were very busy because they were helping us put together the press conferences in Monterrey and Mexico City. I'm very excited to say they did an awesome job. They
You
were
did.
on point.
We need
On
to
everything.
pat it on the back. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah, Casa Dorado has grown very much in the last year. I'm very excited.
Good one.
And they've been traveling with us, actually someone is right now at the Guadalajara trip. Selena was with us in Michoacan, both of them were in Mexico City. They were obviously in Monterrey with Joel and Selena. So the
And who
work,
pays for their travel?
we have a budget for Casa Dorado.
Okay.
So within the budget that's approved by council every year, that's where all the travel, everything that they do comes from that specific budget.
That's good.
So I don't mind.
Let them know that they're doing that we're very thankful that they're doing a great job. And we're very proud of them, being that they're not physically here with us, but that we also.
Well, maybe soon they could be coming.
Yes.
and see.
So
We
I
can
hope
get back
we
to
can go back to bring them maybe every other month. Now
It's
that-
always good to have them, you know, because I mean, they
Yeah,
connect with us and they relate the faces, you know,
Right.
to this organization, so.
and they'll be here for Paisano, they usually come to help us with Paisano, so they'll be here in a couple of weeks. But definitely for next year, we'll bring back the every other month travel.
Which are the dates that are predicted for the paisanos? That'll be-
The heaviest ones, they're usually, the let-out dates is that 17th. So most of the let-out dates, that's why we chose that one for the modulo. So most of the let-out dates are on the 17th. And then from there, all the way to the 24th.
Yeah, UISD was gonna release the students on Wednesday, the 22nd, and they just voted to change it to 17th.
Nice.
So
They realized they were gonna have a lot of absences on Monday and Tuesday.
Good idea.
yeah, and we analyze all the let-out dates for all the corridor. Vero does a great job. Every year, she pulls all the information for the let-out dates, of all the I-35 corridor. So yeah, I'm glad that UISD matched the other one.
I don't think LIC hasn't changed it, I don't
I
know.
haven't heard so.
Does the city council realize what good work you all are doing and the relationships that you're creating, you know, with other
We
communities? And, you know, do they ever travel with you for
Yes.
important events? I mean, I know
Yes.
you said the city manager, but.
City manager went with us to Mexico City, but some council members and other city managers joined us in Michoacan. So they were definitely there.
Well, it's
and-
important for them to realize because you can tell people and, you know, but words, you know, when you see it, it's visual, it's more powerful than just, you know.
Yeah, And a lot of this is council directives, a lot of this is management directives that we run with. We're working on different projects with, different international relations, groups. And so, yeah, no, we work together with council and mayor's office to do all this type of, international relationships work.
Okay, well, good.
Oh, I need a little quick clarification. Where does Convention Visitors Bureau's work start and stop as opposed to Chamber of Commerce?
So we are the office of, so we're focused on bringing heads and beds. So
Right.
we're focused on bringing
The
people
Chamber,
to a
because I noticed Gabriela Morales.
Yes.
She's the new,
She's a new
the,
chamber.
the new Mike, ¿cómo se llama?
Miguel
Concha.
Concha.
So soon we forget.
Huh?
I said, so soon we forget.
How soon? Hey, pero this computer doesn't work as fast as it used to.
Cambiarle las pilas here.
So the chamber is more focused on bringing business to their membership.
Right.
We're more focused on bringing heads and beds. So
Heads and beds.
we're promoting the city overall, and especially those
And they promote
attractions.
businesses.
And they promote what brings business to their membership.
And that's where the hotel motel tax funding comes from, you know, the heads and beds.
The heads and beds. And that doesn't mean, and we're working together now with the chamber because they have, obviously, because they have so close relationship with the businesses, they can help us bridge that gap. And so we can offer, different, opportunities for our, visitors to do that.
And the chamber, well, I am part of the board of directors of the chamber right now, and so they're very, very excited about working closely with you guys. Like in our last meeting, it was discussed that they wanna make sure that you guys are invited and participate more.
Well, it's so good that you're there because you're
Yes.
the, you know, your perspective of
Yes,
this and that and putting them
Yeah.
together is,
Yes.
yeah, it's a big benefit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we invited Gabby, we actually met with her the first day she was in office, and, we invited her, she traveled with us to Mexico City, and I met with her last night, to see what
else, yes.
what else we can do.
Yeah, the membership was very, very interested in that, so it was requested that we work closely with.
Qué bueno.
So
And you can see the benefit of both, and we're one
Yes, and it's,
stop to the other.
Start complimenting each other.
yeah, having the new presidency or like
We do, but if you want to.
close right in time because she's willing to try new things and it's nice overall. At the end of the day-
Change is good, you know,
Yes.
and I think for all that Mike Concha's doing, you know, you
Oh, he
appreciate
is
everything, and everything. But, you know, to get.
Like I
From
always-
her perspective, right?
And it's like I always say, one person takes it to one level and the other person is
Yeah.
building upon what that person
That's right.
Exactly,
did.
yes, yeah, the legacy of Mr. Concha
That's nice.
is there, well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody.
Just reiterating our February 3rd meeting, 2022 at 8:30 in the morning instead of January. And we have any announcements to bring to our meeting today?
No, other than
Have safe holidays.
safe holidays, and we appreciate all your comments, all your feedback. We really appreciate and your support throughout this 2021. I don't know why, like 2020 didn't happen, so I keep saying 2020. But we really appreciate all of your support, all your feedback during this year. It's been a
This is the feedback.
couple of difficult years, but we really appreciate that, and we hope that we're moving forward towards what.
You know, and I think, I appreciate the fact that all of us, were able to be, you know, involved, you know, with this organization, you know, through, Zoom, I guess, you know, when we have our Zoom meetings, and I've been able to, and that kept us abreast of what was going on, you know, and I think it was very important that we get through this difficult time, and I think through it all worked out, you know,
Yes.
through the difficulty. I always say working together always makes a difference.
I think they did an outstanding job, and I think we should.
They did.
Well said, Commissioner.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion?
That's
to
too much
adjourn?
sugar for a diabetic, right?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second.
Motion carries. Thank you all for being here.
Well, thank you.